Hey, just doing another check-in. Hope everyone's doing good and staying healthy and are spending all this free time binge watching our videos. Hey, it's a great way to pass some time. Let me know in the comments below what you are doing with all this free time. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 scary quarantine mistakes that you might be making. Now, before we begin, I bet all of you are wondering the same thing. Lindsay, did you get a haircut? Just kidding. You're all wondering what's up with my background. Well, Ontario announced that they are shutting down non-essential services, meaning all the hosts now will be filming at home for at least 14 days, but it could go on longer. But we still care about making content for you guys, and we will continue doing so, but just from a new setup, my home. And if you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe to catch this daily content. And let me know in the comments below where you guys are all from and how you're being affected by the virus. Alright, with that being said, let's dive on into the video. Starting off this countdown, we have the fake testers. It's sad that at a time like this, people are looking for ways to scam their way into profiting off of others' anxiety. Well, people were caught selling fake kits online or going door to door selling tester kits to profit off this disease. In fact, a man named Frank Ludlow was arrested for selling fake kits labeled as anti-pathogenic treatments. They stopped 60 packages from being sent, but found 300 kits in his house with 20 liters of chemicals that he was using. The kits contain potassium thiocyanate and hydrogen peroxide, which are harmful when put in someone's mouth and swished around like he claimed they should be. Then there are other scams going around, like a phone scam promising of free testing kits or air duct cleaning and sanitation that will protect you from the virus. All these scams should be ignored. Please don't fall for them and harm yourself. In our ninth spot, we have a poor diet. The virus is more dangerous for those who have a lowered or weakened immune system. Well, if you are eating poorly and not providing your body with the nutrients it needs, then it can weaken your immune system and their response to new invaders. Eating healthier also prevents you from catching other viral infections like a cold. Because even if you develop a simple cold, that can lower your immune system and make you more susceptible to the virus. One of the best ways scientists say to keep your immune system up is by having a balanced, healthy diet, along with getting an appropriate amount of sleep and managing your stress. Moving on, in our eighth spot, we have just a few friends. I know at this time of social distancing, everyone feels lonely and just wants social interaction. Now, some people think it's fine to see only a few friends or family members since you know them, right? They aren't random strangers. Well, medical experts say to not even take that risk. People need to take self-isolation seriously. Meeting up with a few friends still puts you and your friends at risk. Even visiting your grandparents or anyone that is elderly is dangerous because it puts them at risk, and they are more susceptible to the virus. A reason why we are told to implement social distancing and self-isolation is so that we can flatten the curve. This refers to slowing down the rate of infection so that hospitals have room, supplies, and enough doctors to care for those in need. If we continue to hang out with other individuals, it increases the risk of other people getting the virus and potentially could overwhelm hospitals and cause a shortage in equipment, hospital beds, or doctors. Kristen Hawkins, professor and chair of the Department of Science and Technology at Bryant University and an expert in immunology, virology, microbiology, and human health and disease, states that a virus can't live on its own, so it needs you and your friends as a vehicle to keep spreading. If it infects someone and then has nowhere else to go, it stops right there. In our seventh spot, we have exposure to large groups of individuals. Yes, so everyone knows that we need to self-isolate, meaning we need to stay away from large groups of people. However, we still need to go grocery shopping. But with everyone panicking and stocking up on supplies, the grocery stores are constantly flooded with individuals. Then people are waiting in long lines exposed to all these individuals for a long period of time. So people are exposing themselves to large groups of people when grocery shopping. The exact thing we were told not to do. Now, some stores are seeing this issue and are taking measures to prevent it. Some places are now starting to limit the amount of people in at a time and are putting up a barrier between the cashiers and the shoppers. But still, it's best to minimize the amount of time spent in the store if possible. In fact, employees at places like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods in America have ended up testing positive for the virus, meaning at some point they came in contact with the virus through an infected shopper. It's certainly hard to implement 6 feet of space between everyone when the grocery stores are crowded. definitely makes the virus easier to transmit. Making our way down the list at number 6, we have touching things. If you have to be out in public, try to avoid touching highly touched items like doorknobs, handrails, bus poles, elevator buttons, ATM machines, or store keypads. These surfaces are constantly being touched by thousands of other people daily. Who knows if one of the people that touched the item before you was infected by the virus? Scientists have found that the virus can remain on copper for 4 hours, 24 hours on cardboard, and up to 2 to 3 days on plastic and stainless steel. Just think about it. Let's say you touch something at the grocery store, then you head home and touch your door car handle, keys, steering wheel, and phone. It can remain on those surfaces for hours. So scientists have said when out, it is best to avoid touching as many things as possible and washing your hands directly after doing so. At home, they state to frequently clean high-touched items or surfaces. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with using hand sanitizer as a substitute. Hand sanitizer is another item highly in demand, and if you come across a bottle, it's considered rare. People are stockpiling up on hand sanitizers, fearing that if they don't have access to it, then they are at risk for the virus. They also think that they will be safe if they just continuously lather their hands with it. Well, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention said that washing your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds is the best way to prevent the virus. They also state that hand sanitizer can be used when there is no access to soap and water, but it's not a life or death situation if you don't have any hand sanitizer. But sanitizer should not replace hand washing. Dr. Christy Wojiwuda, who is a director of clinical microbiology at the University of Vermont Medical Center, stated, "I would say washing your hands is number 1, 2 is being very cognizant about touching your face, and 3 is using hand sanitizer." But there are still people out there that are using hand sanitizer but are still then touching their face. Or they aren't using hand sanitizer with a high enough alcohol percentage in it. In our 4th spot, we have contact with your pets. I know this one is heartbreaking to hear, but it is said that we should limit contact with our furry little pets. This one is so hard because at this time, all we want to do is just grab our pets, snuggle with them, and seek comfort from them. But I don't own a dog. I wish I did. But if you live in a household with other people, then chances are they're doing the same thing. Kissing, hugging, and petting them. Then you all are swapping germs through the pet. As soon as you enter your home and you are greeted by your excited pal, it's super tempting to smother them with love. But the first thing you should do is wash your hands, and then you can play with your pets. Although animals cannot contract the virus, a pet dog in Hong Kong was found to have a low level of the virus, meaning the dog was spreading the virus throughout the household. If you are sick, medical experts claim to limit contact with your animals until you feel better. And at number 3, we have the fake news. On the internet, people are posting fake news about the virus and causing mass hysteria. Do not believe what you read or hear unless it's from a credible source. Some of the news that was circulating the web was that use of aromatherapy and essential oils will prevent the virus, or that inhaling hot air from a hairdryer can help cure the virus. Don't think so. Or one read, the National Guard just announced that no more shipments of food will be arriving for 2 months. Run to the grocery store ASAP and buy everything. This is not helping. It's just creating everyone to panic and puts more people at risk. In fact, Twitter announced that they are going to start removing harmful fake news about the virus. In our 2nd spot, we have the improper use of gloves. With this virus going around, everyone is freaking out and stockpiling gloves, thinking that the gloves alone are good enough to protect them from the virus. Well, hate to break it to you, but this is false. Sure, gloves are good if you have to be handling items that other people also are, but if you aren't practicing good hygiene while using the gloves, then it totally defeats the purpose. For example, people are wearing gloves and masks, yet they are constantly adjusting their mask. Well, then they are bringing their dirty glove hands close to their face and are putting themselves at risk for the virus to enter the body. Then you have the individuals who are wearing gloves, but at the same time are using their phone. Then they take off the gloves when they're home and they continue to use their phone. Well, guess what? The germs are still on the phone from being transmitted from the gloves. And we all know that we have the habit of eating and scrolling at the same time. So again, the virus still has a possibility of entering your body. Instead, if you have to use your phone while wearing the gloves, when you get home, just sanitize your phone. Or refrain from using your phone altogether while out. So I will say it again. The gloves and masks are useless if you're not practicing good asepsis. In fact, a doctor in Turkey even said maintain your hand hygiene frequently right after touching something. This is the most important thing. Leave the use of gloves to us. And in our number 1 spot, we have seeking alternative treatments. You can read a bunch of bogus information online claiming that there is a natural medical cure or there's an alternative treatment than going to the hospital. Please don't believe in this. In fact, it puts you at more of a risk if you feel the symptoms and instead of seeking professional medical help, you try and deal with it yourself. Some of the so-called cures are eating garlic, eating a bunch of vitamin C, and having a bunch of elderberry syrup. Or there was even one that said if you drink enough water, then your stomach acid will just kill the virus. And the worst one of all is that someone out there convinced people that drinking industrial bleach will cure them of the virus. And a man in Phoenix died and his wife is in critical condition after taking chloroquine phosphate. This is an additive used to clean fish tanks. It's also found in anti-malaria medication. Well, Donald Trump released a statement which was false, saying that the Food and Drug Administration approved the use of anti-malaria medication to treat infected patients. But the last thing we need is people self-medicating or going to extreme measures trying to treat themselves only to then further injure themselves. We don't need more people occupying the hospitals. And that's it for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shout out. I'll be shouting out comments from my video Top 10 Scary Germs That Can End the World. Drum Major SCSU commented, "She sounds like the female version of the male host. They must be siblings." Well, which host are you referring to? But no, my brothers don't work on this channel. Sorry. I'm not related to anyone in the studio. Joe Getting Drafted commented, "When Lindsay tells you to wash your hands, you better wash them." That's right. Right now, pause the video, go wash your hands. Please. Keep them clean. Asmita Dio commented, best, Lindsay is the best." Thank you. Really appreciate that. So sweet. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you. In between when I screw up. Oh, I guess if there's something. I'm just talking to myself here because Chris isn't here. Great. I need a cameraman.